Hey guys, welcome to the video, and today we're going to talk about FPS. Yeah, that's right, you've all been asking quite a few times about an FPS guide and how I get such good performance. Well, I'm going to do this video today for you guys, and bear in mind it will be on experimental build. So there is a little bit difference over 5.7 stable, but hopefully this will help from now on, when 5.8 it's stable, for you to get a little bit better FPS. As we do know, the server-side performance has been increased, and it's all sexy. I've got an FPS counter in the top right corner. You can see I'm in the center of Volleyball right now. I am currently getting between 30 and 50 FPS depending on where I'm looking, but it never dips really below 30 FPS, which is the bare minimum for a decent gameplay experience. We don't want it going below 30 in a gunfight and stuff like that and having choppy FPS, which is really good. You know, if everybody can get at least 30 FPS in the future with the renderer and stuff like that, or for the most part, we're all going to be having a laugh and playing, you know, the best game ever, guaranteed. But it's that FPS at the moment that a lot of people are having trouble with. So what I'm going to do today is show you my config, go through my settings there, and then we're going to take a look at my in-game settings. Well, we'll do that now, and then we'll have a look at the config. So let's do this, go into our config, and our video, quality, objects are on normal. Do not go any lower than normal or you will not be seeing players and objects at a very close range, and you'll just drop dead from invisible men. Yeah, so good tip there. That is part of the config as well for view distance, which we'll be looking at in a moment. Terrain very high, just I like to have the terrain looking very nice, so I have it on very high. Clouds disabled. This, I don't know if it still does it, but it used to have a FPS choppiness kind of thing with it. I just have clouds off to play it safe. I don't want a random FPS drops during a combat situation, so I have that disabled anyway. Shadows I have disabled purely for a PvP standpoint of avoiding people hiding in the shadows. If that's off, it's much easier for me to see people. Though the game does look much better with shadows on. Textures, auto. Very high texture detail, texture filtering very high. I like my textures to look nice. Rendering, anti-aliasing low. We still get jaggies, but they're not too bad. It is on slightly, but not too much, so you're going to lose a massive amount of FPS. Alpha to coverage, all trees and grass. Edge smoothing, disabled. HDR quality, very low. Ambient occlusion, disabled. Post-processing quality, disabled. Post-processing quality is also what makes your screen go blurry when you are hit, which I don't like in a PvP situation, so I disable it. I don't know whether this will change in the future of development, but for now that's what I have, so I don't go blind when I get hit and I can still see my enemies. So let's move on to, what do we got now? I think that's it for settings. Everything else is pretty much default, 100% render resolution. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, all of this. So you play on max field of view, which is 90. And yeah, let's move on to the config now, which will tie into view distance a little bit more to do with your object details being normal and things like that. So let's hop on over to the config. I'll see you there. Okay guys, so for your config, you want to go to your documents and then DayZ folder. So in your DayZ.cfg, the only things you want to change in here or make sure of is that your max frames ahead is 1 and your detected frames ahead is 1. Once those two are changed and you make sure those are both 1, you can just save those and close it. The other thing you need to change is your username.DayZ profile. If we go into here and head all the way to the bottom, we will see preferred object view distances, view distance, shadow distance. Thin complexity also 500,000 comes into your object detail setting in DayZ. So I've left out 5,000, which I think is the 500,000, sorry, which I think is the default. Shadow distance 250 I've changed to. I think I changed it to that. View distance is changed to 1200, which is a good reasonable view distance. It keeps stuff above that pretty much not non-rendered in the game, so you'll get better FPS and preferred view distance matching at 1200. That is all you need to change in there, so make sure those are matching on those 4. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's default, but so just make sure those are matching. That's all you need to change for the configs. Once you've done that, save and close. And then head back into the game and see what your performance is like. Okay guys, I hope that helped and you've got some better FPS in DayZ currently until we wait for optimizations during beta and all that good stuff. So yeah, as you can see, I'm leaving Volleyball now and my FPS is raising and raising and raising. I believe it stops around 95 FPS once I go out of towns when I'm in the wilderness. So hopefully you can reach some kind of much more playable FPS with this guide. I will do another guide in the future when the renderer and optimization start coming in and stuff like that. A more permanent FPS guide, you could say. So yeah, but for now, I hope this does for some people, the people that have been asking at least. So leave a like, comment in the description if you have any other information to do with performance. Let me know how your game runs, and I'll see you peeps next time.